One of the most strategic sites for the defense of Israel lays among the sand dunes and windy Negev desert, the Israeli Air Force Ramon base. Last week, the Ramon base opened its doors to the international media networks, allowing them to see at first-hand the offensive and defensive capabilities, talk with pilots and commanders. At the base, Apache strike helicopters and squadrons of F-16I fighter jet planes.
It's an operational base, meaning that we train every day and we are in a readiness state 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, year in and year out. All the time, always there will be pilots and crews on alert for different missions to protect Israeli skies, to be able to assist ground troops in any type of problem, either on the northern border, near Gaza, or any other border.
As in the Second Lebanon War, also in any future confrontations, the Air Force will play an important and decisive role. Apache helicopter pilots spoke about their latest missions in combating terror groups responsible for launching rockets from Gaza at southern Israeli civilian communities.
There was 2 weeks ago the tunnel that Hamas built under the fence in order to kidnap one of our soldiers. It was really a ticking bomb, and we knew that every day now it could happen and one of our soldiers will be kidnapped. And our soldiers got inside and we were in the air to help them if necessary, which in the bottom line was necessary. So I'm happy to say that we helped them.
The Israeli Air Force is on permanent alert. The pilots conduct constant training exercises in preparation for all possible scenarios. The missions they conduct are diverse.
Our training includes air-to-air missions, air-to-ground missions. One thing that we have done since the Second Lebanon War is improved our capabilities in joint forces, working with joint forces with ground units and with the Navy and different stuff like that. In general, our capabilities are very high.
The commander of the Ramon base discussed the current threats Israel faces. Short and long-range missile attacks and Iran's nuclear aspirations top the list of the priorities. However, the commander does not believe the air force of neighboring countries constitute a threat.
Israel faces now new challenges. Most of them are steep trajectory fire from all countries around us, from 5 kilometers to 1,300 kilometers, and more than that. Everybody around us, guided by Iran, are going to a strategic planning or strategic program to build thousands of rockets, all of them to target Israeli civilians. Their idea is that if they will be able to hit Israeli civilians in Tel Aviv, then Israel will break. I think they are wrong. But for us, as an Air Force commander, as an IDF commander, it's a huge challenge.
The commander confirmed that the Israeli Air Force participated in a massive exercise several months ago in the Mediterranean and said that even though Israel wants peace with Iran, the Air Force is preparing for the possibility that it will launch a strike on the Islamic Republic's nuclear sites.
אז אנחנו מתאמנים לכל סוג של איום. לכל סוג של איום. דרך אגב, אנחנו מתאמנים הרבה מאוד מעל הים התיכון, כי ישראל היא מאוד מאוד קטנה. לכן, רוב האימונים שלנו מתקיימים מעל הים. אנחנו מוכנים לכל איום שאנחנו חושבים שהוא איום רלוונטי על ישראל. מכיוון שאנחנו חיל אוויר קטן, מדינה קטנה, צבא קטן, זה אומר שאנחנו צריכים כל אחד לדעת לעשות הכל. לדעת להגן על שמי המדינה מפני מטוסים חודרים. לדעת למצוא רקטות קסאם שמשדרים על שדרות. לדעת במקרה שנפתחת לנו מלחמה בשתי חזיתות להגן על המדינה, ולדעת להתמודד עם איומים בליסטיים מ-2,000 קילומטר מישראל. ולכן אנחנו מתאמנים לכל דבר. השאלה הייתה, האם אני רוצה או נחוש לצאת למלחמה נגד איראן? והתשובה הייתה מאוד פשוטה. אני מאוד מאוד רוצה ומאוד מאוד נחוש לא לצאת למלחמה נגד אף אחד. אני בטוח ביכולות של חיל האוויר להתמודד עם כל איום שאנחנו חושבים שהוא רלוונטי למדינת ישראל. ועדיין מאוד מאוד רוצה שהכוח שלנו יהיה כל כך גדול שאף אחד אחר לא ירצה לתקוף אותנו.
A question asked by many reporters was how do pilots react when required to launch a strike on civilian populated areas and how they minimize civilian casualties.
One thing Israel does very well is teaches us to use weapons in a moral way and to hit your target and only your specific target. It's a sad thing to see that our enemies don't do the same. And they, for example, also in Lebanon and also in Gaza, they usually put their terrorist headquarters right in the middle of civilian populations, using them in general as human shields. But once again, the way I was raised and the way I was taught in the army is a way of moral use of weapons, and we try to hit the target and only the target. The F-16I is probably the best fourth-generation fighter plane available today. It's one of the most advanced F-16 planes available in the entire world. The main difference, I guess, between the F-16I and earlier generations of the F-16 is probably mostly the different electronics and the different systems that are used inside the plane. Many of the systems are Israeli manufactured systems. One of the bigger advantages of this plane, as you can see, is the external fuel tanks that were placed above the wing and can also be placed under the wings. And these fuel tanks basically give Israel the capability to fly anywhere it needs to fly to defend our country.
Since the end of the Second Lebanon War and in spite of the implementation of the ceasefire agreement, Israeli fighter planes enter Lebanese airspace on a regular basis. According to the commander, the objective of such flights is to gather intelligence information on weapons smuggling.
First of all, under 1701 resolution, there are many decisions that were taken. One of them is to prevent, first of all, Hezbollah should have been disarmed. But one of the major points is to prevent from weapons to go from Syria to Lebanon. Our missions, and I won't go to specific mission, our mission continuously is to monitor that. We monitor that, we know the weapons that are being there, and we need to make sure that we are ready to face them in time of war or crisis. So without specific, we need, in peacetime, hopefully it will last forever, to make sure that we are ready for the challenges ahead of us. Some of it is gathering intelligence, gathering information.
The Air Force has been a vital component in all of Israel's wars. Nevertheless, in the last war with Hezbollah, it was mistakenly assumed that air power would be sufficient to obtain a victory against Hezbollah. In September 2007, the Air Force launched a strike on Syria's nuclear reactors. Today, the Air Force is an integral part of the ongoing war against terror and will be a strategic player in a possible war against Iran.